killing Christian. He can be dedicated to saving with God. Yes, God. This lesson took me back so many ways, and I don't want to I want to be honest, but I don't want to go too deep, so I better get here, because my mind is taking me too deep into this. Okay, the golden text is, unto every one of us is given grace, according to the measure of the gift of Christ. Ephesians 4:1. I'm a little bit hoarse. Therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, this is Paul, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called. He's saying that you walk worthy of the Christian calling that God has called you for. God has given all of us a gift. Every one of us. Some of us use it and some of us don't. But we should ask God, if we come to church, listen to His Word, if we are really interested in learning of God, we will ask God, what is our gift? What can I do for you? Because you've done so much for me. You died for me. You shed your blood for me. You were beaten and like hamburger meat. Now what can I do for you? And He'll let you know if you're serious. Or He'll go through maybe the pastor. He'll go through. God works through man to man. So therefore, if you want to know what God wants you to do, then if He doesn't whisper it to you or put it in your mind, then He'll go through man. He'll go to your pastor. That's what He did to me. He went to my pastor, Pastor Jordan. And I said, Pastor Jordan, you kidding? He said, no, Beanie. The Lord told me that I was to make you a teacher. And that was in 85, I think.
Do you think you would have studied the Word of God as much if you had not been called to be a teacher?
No, I wouldn't have.
So what we see is that God has purpose. Because He sees down the road what He needs to do with us. And I'm so grateful, that God do use people. He might use a pastor, He might use anybody. I know one of my customers, she's almost in her 90s now, but she said she would go to she would be with her friends and sororities and stuff at little bars and little things they would have. And say the old drunks would come up and say, what you doing here? You know you ain't got no business here. And they didn't even know nothing about it. But God will use people to tell you.
Yes, He will.
And get where you need to be.
Yes, He will. And He said, number 2, with all lowliness and meekness and long-suffering, forbearing one another in love, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bondage of peace. He says now, He beseeches us to be worthy of our gift, but with all lowliness. And that's being humble. Because you have a gift, don't be so boastful. You have to be humble, because who had any more humility than Christ did? And you have to be gentle, because you're dealing with people. See, you're in a community of people. That community is the church, and Christ is the head of the church. And He gives you these gifts, and He wants you to use these gifts for the edifying of the church, building of the church. If you're just going to come to church and sit down, you're not building the church. No. Because when you leave out, you've forgotten what the pastor said. You're there for, just to be there, to see who's there, or to be beautiful, or to whatever. But God wants you to use these gifts, because if you don't use it, He takes it.
You know, it's just like having an usher at the door. You know, if you didn't have an usher, folks would just come off the street, people be praying, preaching, walk on in, sit where they want to sit, or if somebody, when we get ready to take our offering, if somebody wouldn't have said, take the offering, anybody would get up there and grab the tray.
Oh, yeah.
Take the offering. So it's